Veuillez vous asseoir.
Madame la Présidente, son honneur, la lieutenant-gouverneur est en attente. Madam President, Your Honor, the Lieutenant Governor is what?
Faites entrer son honneur la lieutenant-gouverneur.
Oui, Madame la Présidente. Please remain standing for the arrival of Your Honor, the Lieutenant Governor. Veuillez demeurer debout pour l'arrivée de son honneur, le lieutenant-gouverneur.
Pray be seated.
Veuillez vous asseoir.
Qu'il plaise à votre honneur ayant fait connaître son désir à la Chambre, celle-ci est passée au choix d'une personne pour assumer la présidence. Elle a choisi de m'élire à cette charge importante et honorable et me propose maintenant à l'approbation de votre honneur.
Madam Speaker, I am commanded by Her Honor, the Lieutenant Governor, to declare you that she is fully sensible of your zeal for the public service and of your sufficiency to execute the duties of the office to which you have been elected by the Legislative Assembly, and that she doth readily approve of their choice and allow and confirm you to be their Speaker.
qu'il plaise à votre honneur, comme il a plu à votre honneur d'approuver l'Assemblée dans son choix de m'élire à la présidence, il est maintenant de mon devoir de réclamer en son nom la reconnaissance de tous ses droits et privilèges, anciens et traditionnels, notamment l'inviolabilité parlementaire, la liberté de parole dans les débats, l'accès auprès de la personne de votre honneur lorsque l'Assemblée le juge nécessaire pour le service public et de vous demander d'interpréter de la manière la plus favorable ces délibérations. En mon propre nom, je dois demander que toute erreur de ma part ne soit pas imputée à l'Assemblée.
Madam Speaker, Her Honor hath the utmost confidence in your loyalty and attachment of this Assembly to His Majesty's person and government, and in the wisdom, temper, and prudence which will accompany all their proceedings. And she doth most readily and willingly grant and allow them all their privileges in as full and ample a manner as they have at any time heretofore been granted and allowed. With respect to yourself, Madam Speaker, though Her Honor is sensible that you do not stand in need of such assurance, Her Honor will ever put the most favorable construction on your words and actions.
Madame la Présidente, honorables parlementaires, invités et concitoyens de Nouveau-Brunswick, bienvenue à l'ouverture de la première session de la 61e legislature de Nouveau-Brunswick. We respectfully acknowledge the territory on which we gather as the ancestral unceded homelands of the Wistaqua, Mi'kmaq, and Besquamotari people. Nous félicitons l'honorable Susan Holt, qui est devenue le 35e Premier ministre du Nouveau-Brunswick. Nous souhaitons aussi la bienvenue dans cette enceinte à tous les parlementaires nouvellement élus, ainsi qu'aux parlementaires de retour à l'Assemblée législative pour servir les membres de leur circonscription. Bien que nous ayons de nombreuses raisons d'être reconnaissants dans notre magnifique province, nos collectivités font face à plusieurs défis de taille, y compris l'accès aux soins de santé, l'abordabilité du logement et l'offre de possibilités aux enfants leur permettant de s'épanouir. Our province is full of resilient, creative, and compassionate people who are ready to tackle those challenges head-on. People who believe that by working together we can build a brighter future. To do this, we need to be bold and collaborative and to address these challenges in fresh new ways. We have already taken a step in that direction by electing the province's first woman premier. This is a historic moment for New Brunswick, and it is just the beginning. New Brunswickers are ready for change, and your government is ready to change with you. As we start today's sessions, we want to take a moment to recognize some of the inspirational people and groups who are making positive change across our province. Several New Brunswickers have had noteworthy recognition and achievements over the past year. 10 New Brunswickers have been invested into the Order of New Brunswick. The 2023 inductees were Catherine Agagi from St. Andrews, J.W. Bud Bird from Fredericton, Isabelle McKee-Alain from Dieppe, Joanne E. McLeod from Fredericton, Bernard Poirier from Dieppe. The 2024 inductees are Christine Doumbia from Shippergan, Carmen Gibbs from Grand Bouctouche, district of Saint-Thomas de Kent, John LaRue from Fredericton, Robert K. Irving from Moncton, and Karen O. Taylor from Woodstock. Congratulations to the New Brunswick lawyers who've been appointed to the King's Council. Bravo également à Olivier Hussin de Dieppe, qui a été désigné comme l'une des 10 personnalités qui ont influencé la francophonie canadienne en 2023 par Francopresse. Nous félicitons les 9 personnes qui ont reçu le prix d'excellence en éducation secteur francophone en 2023, ainsi que les 10 personnes qui ont reçu le prix d'excellence en éducation secteur anglophone en 2024. Nous félicitons également les 10 lauréats et lauréates de la 10e édition des prix Étincelle qui visent à reconnaître les pratiques innovatrices et les efforts déployés dans la création d'environnements d'apprentissage permettant aux élèves de mener une vie équilibrée, d'avoir un désir d'apprendre tout au long de leur vie et de vivre une citoyenneté éthique et engagée. Bravo à Maud Cyr Deschênes d'Edmundston, qui a remporté la 10e saison de La Voix, présentée à TVA. Congratulations to Dave Durpro and Sabrina Durpro, who were inducted into the 2024 Wheelchair Basketball Canada Hall of Fame. We honor the winners of the 2024 Disability Awareness Week Awards, including the winner of the Honorable Andy Scott Award, Dr. Sean Jennings, Christine Evans, winner of the Employer Award, Provincial Individual Award winner Courtney Stevenson, and Provincial Organization Award winner Moncton Community Residents Incorporated. Félicitations au pays de la Sagouine, lauréat du prix en innovation et commercialisation Québec-Nouveau-Brunswick du 9e Rendez-vous Acadie Québec pour le Nouveau-Brunswick. Congratulations to the 7 top-performing exporters who received awards at the 56th Annual Export Awards in May: Jessam Tool Company, Gap Auto, Smart Skin Technologies, Anessa, Let's Nurture, Bulletproof, and Coruvin. We honor Citizens Hero Award recipients Corey Proctor and Rick Burgess, who were recognized by the Sussex Fire Department for their heroic actions in approaching the scene of a structure fire to save and protect a fellow community member. We congratulate the New Brunswick athletes, coaches, officials, and staff who took part in the 2024 Olympic and Paralympic Games in Paris. Congratulations to the 2 Paralympic athletes who brought home medals: Alexandre Hayward of Quispamsis, who won bronze in cycling, and Danielle Doris of Moncton, who won gold in swimming. Toutes nos félicitations également aux récipiendaires des prix des droits de la personne de Nouveau-Brunswick 2024, soit l'organisme Rendez-vous de la Fierté Acadie Love de Caracat, qui a reçu le prix des droits de la personne, et Merritt Johnson de Fredericton, qui a reçu le prix des droits de la personne jeunesse. Nous félicitons Louis-Philippe Albert de Fredericton et Armand Doucet de Dieppe, qui tous deux ont reçu l'Ordre du Canada en 2024. Congratulations to Tara Francis, a Mi'kmaq artist from Elsipogtog First Nation, who received the first Indigenous Artist Award as part of the Lieutenant Governor's Award for High Achievement in the Arts. Toutes nos félicitations au nombre record de femmes élues à l'Assemblée législative de Nouveau-Brunswick. Une nouvelle page de l'histoire de la province s'est écrite par l'élection de 17 femmes, dont la première femme de couleur et femme immigrante, la première femme francophone présidente de l'Assemblée législative et la première femme première ministre de Nouveau-Brunswick, toutes élues lors de la récente élection provinciale. We also pause to remember those we have lost in the past year. We were saddened by the passing of Noel Kinsella, a champion of human rights, who served as a member of the Canadian Senate and as its Speaker for many years. We mourn the loss of the Right Honourable Brian Mulroney, Canada's 18th Prime Minister, who will be remembered for his commitment and service to our country. We honour Gifford Cook, co-founder of Cook Aquaculture, who along with his children grew the seafood company to achieve international success while remaining rooted in New Brunswick. Former MLA and Cabinet Minister Susan Stoltz, affectionately known as the Turkey Lady, was a dedicated volunteer who will be remembered for her impact on her community and the province. We remember Arthur L. Irving, Chairman Emeritus and former President of Irving Oil, for his endless energy and dedication to business and community. We remember Senator Joseph A. Day for his kindness, wisdom, and commitment to serving New Brunswickers. Nous sommes attristés par le décès de Reginald Charles Gagnon, acadien et auteur, compositeur, interprète de musique country que nous connaissons mieux sous le nom de Caillouche. Nous rendons hommage à Marcel Roman-Thériault, acteur et metteur en scène de talent, connu pour ses nombreux rôles au théâtre et la télévision. We remember distinguished actor Donald Sutherland, who was born in St. John. We honor James K. Irving, the chairman of J.D. Irving Limited, who leaves an enduring legacy through his contributions to his community in the province. Nous sommes attristés par le décès de l'auteur, compositeur, interprète acadien Paul Duane. Nous nous souvenons de Mario Leblanc, mieux connu sous le nom de Féo, acadien et auteur, compositeur, interprète de musique folk rock. We were saddened by the recent passing of retired Senator Murray Sinclair, an Indigenous lawyer and judge who served as chair of the Indian Residential Schools Truth and Reconciliation Commission from 2009 to 2015. His work challenged all of us to do better and commit to the act of reconciliation. Aujourd'hui, à bien des égards, le Nouveau-Brunswick entame un nouveau chapitre, un chapitre défini par la collaboration, la transparence et les possibilités. Your government understands that trust does not come easy, but they are ready and willing to work hard to earn it. The members gathered here today represent New Brunswickers across the province and have been sent to this chamber to amplify their voices and to ensure that each has the support and services they need. Healthcare and affordability are critical as far too many New Brunswickers struggle to access primary care and make ends meet. Your government is tackling these pressing issues head-on and will continue to do so in the coming months and years. Votre gouvernement est déjà passé à l'action en s'attaquant à un bon nombre de priorités clés qu'il compte réaliser dans les 100 premiers jours de son mandat, notamment l'élimination de la portion provinciale de la taxe de vente sur l'électricité domestique, la mise en place d'un plafonnement des loyers et l'abolition de la majoration liée au coût de carbone pour rendre la vie plus abordable, l'élimination de la portion provinciale de la taxe sur les immeubles à logement multiple pour faire face à la crise du logement, le versement des primes de maintien aux infirmières de Nouveau-Brunswick pour leur témoigner le respect et la reconnaissance qu'elles méritent. La confiance se bâtit non seulement au fil des actions concrètes, mais aussi en fonction de la façon dont ces actions sont menées. Your government will get out of the office and connect authentically with New Brunswickers, communities, stakeholders, and experts inspired by the disability advocacy principle of nothing about us without us. It recognizes that one size does not fit all, that some communities will need different things to thrive, and our legislation, policies, and programs should be designed to support those unique differences. Aujourd'hui, votre gouvernement vous présente son plan pour améliorer la qualité de vie des gens de Nouveau-Brunswick, en décrivant d'une part son approche à long terme pour relever les défis auxquels nous faisons face et de l'autre, les mesures à court terme qu'il prendra au cours de sa première année de mandat. To address the challenges we face, your government has identified 6 priority areas. These are healthcare, affordability and housing, education, economic development, environment, trusted leadership. Des objectifs mesurables seront fixés pour chacun de ces secteurs, et ce pour que les progrès soient réalisés en temps opportun, soient transparents et aient des retombées positives. Votre gouvernement est convaincu de l'importance de donner aux gens de Nouveau-Brunswick l'accès aux soins dont ils ont besoin près de chez eux au moment où ils en ont besoin. Pour atteindre cet objectif, il améliorera le système de santé afin de le rendre accessible et souple et de le doter des bons outils et des bonnes équipes pour répondre aux besoins de la population de la province. Too many New Brunswickers continue to be without a doctor. To help ensure better access to care over the next 4 years, your government will establish and support at least 30 community care clinics that offer local collaborative care from a variety of health professionals. Dedicated non-clinical staff and administrative support will also be part of this collaborative care model to ensure that health professionals can focus on patients rather than paperwork. Votre gouvernement s'est engagé à soutenir 10 cliniques de soins communautaires en 2025, soit à Fredericton, à Moncton, à Saint-Jean, à Edmundston, à Campbellton, à St. Stephen, à Sussex, à Sackville, ainsi que dans les régions de Carleton Nord et de la péninsule acadienne. Ils comptent également soutenir des cliniques à Woodstock, dans la vallée de la Kennebecasis, à Blacks Harbour et à Blackville en 2026. Votre gouvernement est disposé à offrir son soutien. Toute collectivité qui dresse un plan pour transformer sa clinique actuelle en clinique de soins communautaires recevra de l'aide. In order to improve access to care, your government will increase the time that operating rooms are open to ensure hospitals across the province are used to their fullest potential. They will invest in modern technology, including centralized wait lists and connected digital records management systems, to ensure the seamless and secure exchange of patient information between healthcare professionals so that all of your information is in one place and you aren't required to tell your story over and over again. Your government is committed to care for the people who care for New Brunswickers, including doctors, nurses, and the many healthcare professionals who are working so hard to overcome obstacles in a system that isn't working. Un plan de recrutement de personnel en santé sera mis sur pied en collaboration avec les professionnels de la santé et devrait se traduire par de meilleures conditions de travail, un soutien au bien-être accru et un solide maintien en poste de ceux et celles qui mettent déjà toute leur énergie à notre service. As they explore other tools to aid retention and recruitment, your government's first step will be retaining the nurses caring for New Brunswickers today with recognition and retention payments. The payments of $10,000 will go to all nurse practitioners, registered nurses, and licensed practical nurses working in the public hospital and long-term care system, with a second check of $5,000 following next year. Your government will work with communities and experts to ensure local realities are not only respected, but included in any plan to retain and recruit healthcare professionals. Il transformera le modèle de rémunération des médecins et des fournisseurs de soins primaires afin de l'harmoniser à celui des cliniques de soins en collaboration et il prévoira une rémunération équitable pour les soins prodigués en dehors des heures normales de travail. Votre gouvernement veillera aussi à ce que plus de médecins soient formés. Il collaborera avec le Centre de formation médicale de Nouveau-Brunswick et le programme de formation médicale de Nouveau-Brunswick de l'Université Dalhousie pour créer un plus grand nombre de places de formation et de résidence en médecine dans les 10 premiers au cours de l'année universitaire 2025-2026. Your government will work to find creative approaches to recruit healthcare professionals. This will include working with regulators to improve recognition of foreign credentials for nurses, doctors, and other healthcare professionals. Il révisera également le champ d'exercice des professionnels de la santé et légiférera afin qu'ils puissent travailler à la pleine hauteur de leurs compétences et mettre à profit tout leur savoir. It is important that seniors and their families have options and the ability to make choices about their care with dignity. To help achieve this goal, your government will further expand the Nursing Home Without Walls model over their mandate to the 55 homes not yet included in the program to ensure that those who want to stay home can do so for as long as possible. Your government will fill staffing gaps to ensure all nursing home beds are accessible to those who need one and so that no one has to live in a hospital while they wait. They will do this by investing in wages for personal support workers and resident attendants to increase hours of care. Votre gouvernement viendra également en aide aux aînés en affectant des fonds à l'augmentation des salaires des travailleurs de soins à domicile et des allocations vestimentaires et de meilleures dépenses, ainsi qu'en mettant en place une prestation mensuelle pour les proches aidants qui prennent soin des membres vieillissants de leur famille. As well, they will provide the RSV vaccine for free to seniors and vulnerable people. While accessing primary health care is a challenge for all New Brunswickers, this is especially true for historically underserved groups. Your government is taking steps to change that. They will invite First Nations leaders to create a bilateral forum and ongoing process to achieve culturally safe and equitable health care for Indigenous people in the province. As well, they will support, collaborate, and engage with First Nations healthcare leaders to achieve their health transformation design and implementation process. Your government will ensure the building process aligns with best practices to provide members of the 2S LGBTQI+ community with quality health and mental health care. This includes longer appointment times and gender-affirming care. Il élargira l'accès au traitement de fertilité en finançant un cycle de fécondation in vitro ainsi que les services de sages-femmes et affectera des fonds à leur formation et leur éducation. Il rendra la conception gratuite. Il mettra en place des tests PAP pouvant être pratiqués à la maison pour favoriser le dépistage du cancer du col utérin. Your government has already approved regulatory changes to 84-20 in the Medical Services Payment Act to allow Medicare to cover the cost of surgical abortions provided in approved facilities outside hospitals. Though they recognize that this alone cannot immediately create better access to abortion, it is an important first step. Moving forward, they will work with stakeholders like the New Brunswick Medical Society and regional health authorities to establish how these services will be delivered in communities. Improving access to mental health care that is accessible, compassionate, and supportive when people need it is a priority for your government. They will reduce wait times by including mental health professionals in as many community care clinics as possible. This will not only make certain that mental health is treated as primary care, it will also reduce the frequency of acute mental health challenges. An increase in residency seats for psychiatrists and clinical psychologists, and development of a retention and training plan for psychologists, counselors, and other mental health professionals, specifically within schools, will help build the workforce necessary to support the growing need for mental health services. Votre gouvernement investira dans des approches de gestion communautaire pour les fournisseurs de services de première ligne qui offrent actuellement des services de soutien en santé mentale dans la province et il prévoit d'accorder 15 subventions en 2025 et d'autres dans l'avenir. They will create a mental health advocate position so that New Brunswickers struggling with mental health and navigating the system have a champion. Access to mental health court will be expanded to ensure the promotion of alternative pathways for justice so that people are getting the support they need. This will reduce the rate of people re-entering the justice system. Votre gouvernement travaillera en partenariat avec les Premières Nations afin de co-créer et de mettre en œuvre des programmes de santé mentale et de traitement des dépendances qui respectent les services et les pratiques des Premières Nations en matière de soins adaptés à la culture. Il investira également dans des lits de traitement à l'échelle de la province. Des lits seront ainsi disponibles pour ceux et celles qui en ont besoin, à l'endroit et au moment voulu, et un continuum de soins pourra être offert à la fin du traitement. New Brunswickers are struggling to keep up with the rising cost of living as the price for things like gas, power, and rent continue to go up. Your government is committed to making your life more affordable through targeted measures that will make a meaningful difference in your day-to-day life. To help ease the cost of groceries and to ensure students are able to learn, your government will provide a nutritious, universal, free breakfast and pay what you can lunches to all New Brunswick students. This will be done by leveraging local food where possible. Il offrira une remise équivalente à la taxe de vente de 10% sur votre facture d'électricité. Cette remise sera offerte à tous les clients résidentiels qui paient à la TVH sur leur facture d'électricité et sera assurée par Énergie MB et les trois fournisseurs d'électricité municipaux de la province. Il ne serait pas nécessaire de présenter une demande. Lors de la session d'automne de l'Assemblée législative, votre gouvernement présentera des modifications à la loi sur la fixation des prix des produits pétroliers afin de supprimer la majoration liée au coût de carbone sur le prix hebdomadaire ajusté de l'essence. Les gens de Nouveau-Brunswick économiseront ainsi environ 4 cents le litre à la pompe. Bien que le Nouveau-Brunswick se réjouisse de la croissance record de sa population, il en découle des répercussions à gérer, dont la hausse d'un précédent de l'impôt foncier et des loyers, ainsi que le nombre record de personnes sans abri. Your government will introduce a rent cap of 3% to make life more affordable for all New Brunswick renters and update the Residential Tenancies Act in this legislative session. They will overhaul property tax to ensure stability and fairness. They will work with companies to increase investments in made in New Brunswick solutions to housing, such as modular and off-site housing. They will also work with the federal government to fully rebate the 10% provincial portion of the HST for eligible, newly purpose-built rental housing. This is an incentive offered in neighboring Atlantic provinces, and they want to ensure developers aren't overlooking New Brunswick for multi-unit builds. Your government will model a community housing retention and expansion pilot to fund housing in the nonprofit and community sectors. This model will support capacity building, pre-construction costs, and acquisition. Votre gouvernement investira dans la rénovation des logements publics existants et dans la création de nouveaux logements publics, ainsi que dans un financement de base durable pour les maisons de transition et le service de première ligne contre la violence conjugale. De plus, il affectera des fonds aux travaux de rénovation visant à améliorer la sûreté et l'accessibilité des domiciles des aînés et des personnes handicapées souhaitant demeurer chez eux. Votre gouvernement offrira des services complets aux personnes en situation d'itinérance chronique. Bien que le logement soit un premier pas, le travail ne s'arrête pas là. Il préconisera également une approche communautaire de gestion des cas pour faire face aux problèmes croissants de l'itinérance. Pour ce faire, il travaillera directement avec les municipalités et les groupes communautaires qui adhèrent déjà au principe du logement d'abord et appuiera l'élargissement de ces principes. Your government will explore a plan for basic income for New Brunswickers living with a disability. They will increase the capacity of individuals receiving social assistance so they can participate in the workforce without financial penalty or loss of benefits. En outre, votre gouvernement augmentera les taux d'aide sociale afin que les jeunes puissent mieux composer avec la hausse des coûts de l'alimentation et du logement, tout en veillant à ce que les règlements ne pénalisent pas les bénéficiaires. Schools are short-staffed and overcrowded, causing stress for teachers, staff, and students. A better learning environment is needed to ensure New Brunswick students receive the quality education they deserve. To help alleviate the pressure and create a better learning environment, your government will retain and recruit teachers, support professionals, educational assistants, and bus drivers. They are committed to improving working conditions for all education professionals with a focus on improving support and their wellness. To ensure we keep recruiting new talent to the education system, your government will increase financial support for those entering education professions. Il travaillera avec les enseignes, les éducateurs, les experts et les parents à l'élaboration d'un nouveau plan de 10 ans et définira une nouvelle vision collective de l'éducation. Il appuiera l'inclusion scolaire de tous les élèves en révisant la composition de la salle de classe et en comblant les lacunes en matière de personnel, de formation et des ressources qui ont entravé la mise en œuvre efficace de la politique 322. To make sure that students' learning needs are being met, your government will ensure schools have adequate staffing spaces and resources to provide classroom support in literacy, numeracy, and learning behaviors. This will provide students with more small group or one-on-one practice. Il fournira au personnel scolaire et aux élèves les outils nécessaires pour créer un milieu propice à l'apprentissage, tout en mettant au profit les appareils électroniques personnels et les autres technologies de façon judicieuse. As well, they will continue Grade 1 early French immersion while expanding access points for Grade 6 entry into the program. Un trop grand nombre de familles au Nouveau-Brunswick ont du mal à trouver des services de garderie à prix abordable. Votre gouvernement s'est fixé pour objectif d'éliminer la liste d'attente pour ces services. Ainsi, il veillera au maintien en poste des éducateurs de la petite enfant par l'amélioration de leurs conditions de travail et la hausse de leur salaire. Il augmentera également le soutien financier aux étudiants qui souhaitent faire carrière dans ce domaine. They will continue to implement a $10 a day childcare across the province to make it more accessible. They will also reduce the administrative and regulatory burden on childcare operators, enhancing their ability to provide the best care possible for New Brunswick children. Many post-secondary students are struggling to find affordable and accessible housing. Your government will work with universities and colleges to develop long-term strategies for student housing. Pour se donner les moyens de servir la population et de lui fournir les services dont elle a besoin, votre gouvernement doit faire preuve de responsabilité financière. Il s'engage donc à présenter un budget équilibré chaque année de son mandat. Pour assurer la prospérité de notre économie, nous devons nous attaquer au problème de pénurie de main-d'œuvre. To help do this, your government will provide grants to New Brunswick students who choose to study to work in high-priority fields such as healthcare, building trades, and education. They will focus immigration pathways on these high-priority fields as well and support newcomers who choose to make New Brunswick their home. Votre gouvernement simplifiera le processus de reconnaissance des qualifications acquises à l'étranger pour permettre aux nouveaux arrivants de trouver un emploi plus facilement et plus rapidement. Il verra à l'instauration progressive de l'équité salariale dans le secteur privé et dans celui des soins en utilisant un modèle semblable à celui du Québec et de l'Ontario. They will support unemployed and underemployed residents who want to upskill in the labor force. Your government has a goal of leveraging opportunities and strengths by investing in the right sectors at the right time. This includes taking advantage of emerging opportunities in energy, technology, agriculture, and manufacturing. Il mettra en place un plan énergétique qui offre une énergie abordable, fiable et propre aux jeunes de Nouveau-Brunswick ainsi qu'aux entreprises. Alors qu'il continue la transition vers un réseau zéro émission, il travaillera avec le gouvernement fédéral afin de garantir que les grands émetteurs assumeront le fardeau du prix du carbone. They will close the gaps in cell coverage and high-speed internet across the province so that people can stay connected and have a flexible work environment. To encourage investments in research, automation, and technology, which in turn will increase productivity, they will review and improve investment tax credits. Il augmentera les exportations en diversifiant les marchés internationaux de Nouveau-Brunswick et en travaillant avec nos voisins canadiens pour éliminer les obstacles au commerce et les barrières liées au titre des compétences qui entravent l'économie. Arts and culture are important economic and social drivers. Recognizing this, your government will better leverage opportunities to invest in New Brunswick artists, cultural and creative industries and institutions. This will create good-paying jobs and a robust, creative economy that we can all be proud of. They will support the Transition Committee's work on the status of the artist. Votre gouvernement optimisera les infrastructures au moyen d'un plan de gestion des actifs pour les infrastructures de transport. Il s'assurera ainsi que la priorité est accordée à la réparation ou au remplacement des routes et des ponts et que les entrepreneurs sont payés à temps. With the increased frequency of extreme weather events and hotter summers, more needs to be done to protect people and the planet. Recognizing that every New Brunswicker has the right to clean air and water, your government will update the Clean Air Act and Clean Water Act. As part of that, they will require all new schools, hospital, long-term care homes, and other public buildings to have modern air filtration, heating, and cooling systems following ASHRAE 241. As well, suitable air filtration and cooling units will be added to existing public infrastructure. Pour inciter les gens de Nouveau-Brunswick à profiter du plein air, votre gouvernement accordera à la population un rabais de 25% sur le coût des laissez-passer pour les parcs provinciaux. En vue d'améliorer la santé de la population, il collaborera avec les collectivités afin d'accroître les infrastructures de transport actives comme les sentiers pédestres et cyclables. They will increase support for home energy retrofits and the free heat pump program, as well as introduce a provincial program for solar retrofits. They will ensure that all government buildings are net zero and that the vehicle fleet, including school buses, are all electric by 2035. Your government will increase conservation lands and waters from 10% to 15%. As well, they will work with communities, First Nations, and experts to develop a plan to reach 30%. They will review and update the province's emergency preparedness plan so we are better prepared to deal with the increasing number of extreme climate change-related weather events. They will implement a coastal erosion plan to further protect communities and coastlines. Votre gouvernement étudiera les solutions de rechange à l'utilisation des pesticides et d'herbicides et réévaluera la sécurité de glyphosate à l'aide de nouvelles données spécifiques au Nouveau-Brunswick. They will also implement the recommendations of the Legislative Assembly's All-Party Standing Committee on Climate Change and Environmental Stewardship to increase restrictions on pesticide and herbicide use, including examining the banning of aerial spraying. La population de Nouveau-Brunswick attend de son gouvernement qu'il fournisse les services dont elle a besoin, et ce en faisant preuve de diligence, de transparence et de collaboration. Votre gouvernement a pris des engagements précis dans le but de favoriser la confiance vitale nécessaire. They will reform the province's right to information legislation to ensure more accessible and less restrictive access to the public and modernize and strengthen the lobbyist registry to enhance transparency and accountability. Your government will strengthen the Public Interest Disclosure Act, also known as the Whistleblower Act. Doing so will ensure anonymity and employment protections for whistleblowers so that no one needs to fear coming forward and doing what is right. They will operate under an open by default principle and improve open data across government. They will ensure the province's legislative assembly and its practices are modern and fit for the purpose they serve. This will include set calendars, the ability to participate remotely, and modernize committee work. They will ban out-of-province political donations to increase public trust in all political parties. Il analysera promptement les recommandations des rapports de 2024 du Bureau des défenseurs des enfants, des jeunes et des aînés et s'efforcera de leur donner suite. En outre, il veillera à renforcer la capacité d'élaboration des politiques sociales et à prendre les mesures nécessaires pour mieux protéger les enfants et les aînés du Nouveau-Brunswick. Your government will work with municipalities to implement comprehensive and fair fiscal reform. To ensure unbiased and evidence-based decision-making going forward, they will make the province's public health office independent. They are committed to rebuilding relationships with First Nations based on a nation-to-nation relationship, one that establishes trust and a shared understanding of treaty obligations. As part of this, they will renegotiate tax agreements to ensure all parties receive a fair deal. Conscient de l'importance des deux langues officielles de la province, il nommera un ou une sous-ministre pour diriger le secrétariat aux langues officielles, établira un comité permanent sur les langues officielles et mettra en œuvre les recommandations du rapport McLaughlin-Finn. De plus, votre gouvernement passera une revue sans tarder le rapport final de la commissaire sur le racisme systémique et y donnera suite, tout en dressant un plan de mise en œuvre des recommandations en temps opportun. These are important steps towards showing New Brunswickers that your government is listening and wants to work collaboratively. Equally important is that they have already gotten to work on our shared concern. New Brunswickers have sent a clear message that they are ready for change, that they are ready for a government that not only listens to them, but collaborates with them to find creative solutions to the challenges we face. Votre gouvernement ne prend pas à la légère la responsabilité qui lui a été confiée. Il est prêt à gagner la confiance des personnes qu'il sert, à écouter leurs idées, à travailler avec elles et à s'atteler de façonner l'avenir florissant auquel nous pouvons tous aspirer. Merci.
Please stand for the departure of Her Honour, the Lieutenant Governor. Veuillez vous lever pour le départ de son honneur, la lieutenant-gouverneur.
Madam Speaker, I ask your leave to introduce a bill entitled An Act to Perpetuate a Certain Ancient Right.
La première ministre demande à déposer un projet de loi intitulé « Loi perpétuant un droit traditionnel spécifique ». Plaît-il à la Chambre d'autoriser le dépôt et que le projet de loi soit maintenant lu une première fois? Les députés qui appuient la motion voudront bien dire oui. Oui. Les députés qui s'y opposent voudront bien dire non. À mon avis, les oui l'emportent. Je déclare la motion adoptée.
An act to perpetuate a certain ancient right.
Je reconnais la première ministre du Nouveau-Brunswick.
Madam Speaker, I move que le rapport soit consigné au journal de débat de l'Assemblée. Move that the returns be entered into the journals of the House.
Pursuant to subsection 96 of the Election Act, I lay upon the table of the House the returns of votes polled in the general election for the province of New Brunswick held on October 21st, 2024. I now put the motion, the following resolutions, moved by the Honourable the Premier, seconded by the Government House Leader, that the returns be entered in the Journal of the House. It has been moved by the Honorable the Premier, seconded by the Government House Leader, that the returns be entered in the Journal of the House. Is it the pleasure of the House to adopt the motion? All those in favor of the motion will please say yea. Yea. All those opposed will please say nay. In my opinion, the yeas have it. Motion carried. Sorry, désolé. Afin d'éviter des erreurs, j'ai obtenu le texte du discours de son honneur, dont je vais maintenant vous faire la lecture. Dispense. Je reconnais maintenant le député de Beau-Soleil, Grand-Bouctouche-Kent.
Thank you very much. Thank you for clapping now because I'm not sure it's going to get better from here. Madame la Présidente, je propose que soit appuyé, je propose ce qui suit, appuyé par la députée de Saint-Jean-Ouest Lancaster, que le discours de son honneur, la lieutenant-gouverneur, soit mis en délibération sur le champ. Merci.
Le député de Beau-Soleil, Grand-Bouctouche-Kent, appuyé par la députée de Saint John-West Lancaster, propose que le discours de son honneur, la lieutenant-gouverneur, soit mis en délibération sur le champ. Plaît-il à la Chambre d'adopter la motion? Les députés qui appuient la motion voudront bien dire oui. Oui. Les députés qui s'y opposent voudront bien dire non. À mon avis, les oui l'emportent et je déclare la motion adoptée. Je reconnais le député de Beau-Soleil, Grand-Bouctouche-Kent.
Merci beaucoup, Madame la Présidente. So I would also like to add that to her honor, to add the following letter before my speech. Fredericton, New Brunswick, November 19, 2024. To her honor, the Honorable Brenda Murphy, Lieutenant Governor of the Province of New Brunswick. May it please your honor, we, His Majesty's most dutiful and loyal subjects of the Legislative Assembly of the Province of New Brunswick, now in session, beg leave to extend our humble thanks to your honor for the gracious speech which your honor has addressed to us. And we assure your honor that all matters which we may be submitted to us during the session will receive our most careful attention and consideration. So, I do want to take the time, the Lieutenant Governor isn't here, but I want to start by giving a special recognition to her, because some might have considered her at the beginning for being a unilingual Anglophone. I think many of us, especially us Francophones, will agree, and I am a French professor, so I actually have some training in this. I can attest to the fact that she is now fully bilingual, and that needs to be applauded. Donc, Madame votre honneur, si vous m'écoutez, je veux simplement vous saluer, vous applaudir, vous féliciter. Je peux vous assurer que, particulièrement la communauté acadienne et francophone, vous est particulièrement reconnaissante. J'aimerais commencer aussi mon discours, c'est comme ça que ça se fait traditionnellement. On parle un peu de notre circonscription. Je veux simplement dire que c'est un plaisir pour moi d'avoir été élu une 4e fois à l'Assemblée législative pour un 4e mandat pour la circonscription, je vais finir par l'avoir, de Beau-Soleil, Grand-Bouctouche-Kent. C'est pour moi, c'est la région que je reconnais. Pour moi, je la décris comme le pays du bon Dieu. C'est pur et simple comme ça. C'est la plus belle région du monde entier. Et j'ai la chance d'avoir voyagé un peu, j'aime de croire que j'ai un peu d'autorité là-dessus. Mais ceci dit, c'est une région qui est absolument magnifique. Non seulement elle est belle par ses rivières, par ses baies, mais c'est surtout par ses gens. c'est les gens qui la rendent riche et belle. Et c'est un plaisir de toujours vivre là. Et c'est particulièrement un privilège de servir ces gens-là. Donc, merci pour tout ce que vous faites. Je tiens à remercier ma famille, ma mère en particulier, ma copine. Je tiens aussi à remercier tous mes bénévoles de mon association, tous ces gens-là qui font en sorte que je suis capable de servir ma circonscription. And I want to give a special shout-out also to added areas of my writing that I didn't have, and I'm referring to the valley of the upper Rishabukto River, which is a beautiful area. People there are just salt of the earth, and it's such a pleasure to serve some that I already was serving and some added ones as well. It is not lost on me that today is a historic day. It's a historic day because for the first time we have a throne speech which is given by a female lieutenant governor under the auspices of a female Speaker of the House, but especially under the able hand of our first female Premier. And by your claps, it tells me that it is not lost on you either. And it is also not lost on me that for the first time, we have more than 1/3 of our elected MLAs that are women in this House. That's 35%. This is historic, and this also brings it a little bit closer to parity. We're not there yet, but it is important to note that it is important to have more female representation, more female that are involved in politics at all levels, and including in this province. So now, with more than 17 members out of 49 here, it's not lost on me that this is amazing, and great things will be happening because of that. So now I guess I have to talk about the throne speech, right? I'm moving this speech. So I just want to say this. I want to start by saying this, and I mean it. And I've been here. This is my 11th or 12th throne speech, something along those lines. There was a year that we skipped, and there was a year where we had 2. So yeah, so I guess it's my 11th one. So all of that to say that I can affirm solemnly that in my 11 speeches, this has been the best one. This has been the best one. And not unlike our new Premier, the speech was short, compassionate, well-organized, action-oriented, and punchy. I love that word, punchy. Because why do I say that? It was punchy because punchy means it leaves a mark. And you know what? When this throne speech will be implemented, it will leave a long-lasting mark. Obviously, and in a certain way, I'm really happy and honored to be moving this speech, but at the same time, I'm a bit disappointed because people who know me, I have three pages of speaking notes here. People that know me know that this gives me 3-hour speech normally. Okay. Now I only have about 15 minutes, and I'm probably 1/3 in it already. So I'm going to try to cut it short. And but it all has to say that I'm going to try to talk very succinctement, j'essaie de dire, par rapport à ce discours du trône, parce qu'il y a plein de choses dans ce discours du trône que je trouve qui frappent toutes les bonnes notes. C'est quand on parle de toute la question des soins de santé. Je vais le dire d'une crise dans les soins de santé. Il y en a une, elle existe. Il faut être aveugle pour ne pas le voir et ne pas le sentir, tout ce qu'on entend des gens autour de nous. Ça fait que ça me réjouit de voir qu'on va avoir 30 centres de santé communautaires dans notre province. Et j'espère qu'il y en aura une dans ma circonscription. Il fallait que j'en profite au moins pour faire une petite plug. Je pense aussi, tout ce qu'on parle aussi d'accès aux médecins de famille, c'est très important. Tout ce qui est le recrutement et la rétention de tous les professionnels de santé et tous les bonis qu'on va donner aux infirmières et tous ceux-là du milieu des sans-infirmiers, c'est très important. Quand on parle de santé mentale, pour la première fois de l'histoire, on a un ministre responsable de la santé mentale et je suis très content que mon collègue de Moncton Centre va être ce ministre-là. Ma mère est une infirmière retirée en santé mentale, donc c'est quelque chose qui me touche particulièrement. Parce que je pense, par exemple, à tout ce qui est les foyers de soins, les foyers de soins sans mur, toutes ces choses-là, c'est important. Et on veut que nos personnes âgées restent davantage à la maison. Donc, ces éléments-là, une fois que ça va être implanté, vont avoir une différence marquante sur nos gens, sur notre société. We talk about affordability in housing. We talk about the rent cap. Finally, that will be implemented very soon on February 1st. We talk about further down the line property tax reform, which is very, very important. We talk about a 10% rebate on electricity that will come into effect very, very shortly. We talk about the carbon adjuster, which will provide 4-cent relief per litre to New Brunswickers when they go at the pump. Et on va aussi parler d'augmenter l'aide sociale. Parce que vous savez, comme moi, les gens de ma région vivent beaucoup sur des chèques du gouvernement. Beaucoup sont sur l'aide sociale. Et avec l'inflation qu'on a eue et ces chèques-là qui n'ont pas augmenté de beaucoup, augmenter ces chèques-là sont importants. Et ça me réjouit de voir ça dans le discours du trône. On parle d'éducation. On a besoin de stabilité tout de suite. Vraiment, c'est ça l'urgence. C'est ce que j'ai entendu le plus dans le milieu éducatif. C'est on a besoin d'une pause pour respirer, pour regrouper, pour voir comment on peut mieux agir en éducation. Puis je suis confiante que ma collègue de Moncton Sud va faire un travail exceptionnel en tant que ministre pour s'assurer de ça. Absolument. Oh, and shout out to the Minister of Health also, who I know will be the right person when it comes to tackle all the health care reform and all the health care challenges that we have in front of us. Mais quand je reviens à l'éducation, je pense notamment à la politique d'inclusion, que c'est important qu'on regarde avec plus de sérieux. When it comes to the universal breakfast and lunch programs that we will implement, so important. When the kids eat well, they learn so much better. And let's not forget, with the help of our federal government friends, the $10 a day child care program, which is so important for our kids and for our young families. I want to also talk about economic development. And I want to talk about this because it's so important to me, because when I started in 2014 under the Gallant government, we inherited close to a $500 million deficit. And at the end in 2018, we ended up with a $67 million surplus. So yes, people can laugh, but it's absolutely true. So we have the demonstration here that Liberals, in factual manner, know how to keep balanced budgets and will maintain balanced budgets. I also want to talk about the workforce needs, and how important that we recognize tout ce qui est la reconnaissance des équivalences, tout ce qui est l'immigration, tout ce qui est comment mieux aider, tout ce qui est le travail, tous les travailleurs, pour s'assurer qu'on a les bonnes personnes aux bonnes places, bien reconnues, et qui gagnent aussi des gages ou des salaires à leur juste mérite, à leur juste valeur. Ça me vient aussi, un de mes dossiers qui me sont plus chers, qui est le dossier de l'international, toute la question de l'immigration, toute l'importance des relations internationales, la francophonie internationale, où on est justement un des rares gouvernements provinciaux à siéger sur un organisme complètement international, avec 70 États membres à peu près. C'est assez exceptionnel. Il faut utiliser ça pour justement favoriser notre développement économique. Je pense à l'environnement aussi. Je pense à tous les programmes d'efficacité énergétique. Je pense aussi aux protections de nos côtes. Comment ça, c'est important. Ceux qui ont vu un peu les médias sociaux ont vu que le pays de la Sagouine, vendredi, on a vu l'île aux puces complètement submergée par l'eau. Ça, c'est des réalités qui viennent. On ne peut pas rester aveugle et à rien faire par rapport à ces dossiers-là. Il faut y aller de façon agressive et de façon efficace. Et je veux aussi parler de la question du leadership. Il faut ramener tout l'élément de la compassion de nouveau dans notre façon de mener notre province. We need to bring back compassion. It's not just about what is done, it's also how it's done. And I feel that this province needs a bit of healing, and it also needs a lot of compassion. And I know that we have the right leader, and by the way, we have the right team, because there's one thing I know, this team is simply amazing in the front benches and in the back benches. And I will stand with each and every one of them every single day of the week, because they are amazing, each and every one of them. Merci beaucoup pour qui vous êtes et ce que vous faites et ce que vous allez faire. Et puis, we have to look at mending some fences, and I think about the First Nations, First Nation friends. Je pense notamment aux communautés minoritaires, je pense aux langues officielles. Ça m'a tellement réjoui quand j'ai vu dans le discours du trône qu'on va avoir un comité permanent sur les langues officielles. Depuis le temps. Depuis le temps. Oh. J'arrive à la conclusion. I'm almost done. I know it's hard to believe for some. But most, if not all of us, will agree that this is a historic throne speech. The glass ceiling has been broken, and now our daughters, young and not so young, now have role models at the top echelons of political power in this wonderful province. It must not only be underlined, but celebrated as an important milestone in our history. But I also know and feel that as amazing as all of this is, more is needed. Even if history will be kind to our Premier and her government for this initial achievement, history will be even kinder for her and our government's action and achievements. I just want to briefly talk about the McKenna government. The McKenna government came in 1987 with a landslide, landmark victory, which will never be matched again. So right there, they made history. But what is even more incredible about the legacy of that government is they won 2 strong consecutive governments following that. And they've made meaningful steps in that time. And I remember being alive then and thinking I was proud to be a New Brunswicker. I was proud to say elsewhere, I was studying in the province of Quebec, I was working in Ottawa, and I was proud to say I was from New Brunswick. When people would say, oh yeah, you have that Premier, that amazing Premier. He was sort of a household name across Canada. You know, so that's the analogy I want to bring, because I really feel that I want, Madam Speaker, Madame la Présidente, I want to see in 15 years from now, I want the whole government to be remembered, not only because she was our first female Premier, but because her government, our government, has provided meaningful, transformative, efficient, and compassionate care and services to all its citizens. So I'll finish with this. This throne speech is an important first step in this direction. And boy, along with our amazing Premier and this team, I stand with all together. We do want to also give a quick shout out to the public servants, who we can't do this without. They've been there steadfast throughout this whole thing before, and they will continue. And thank you. So with that said, with this fantastic team, in this great first throne speech and amazing Premier, we are ready to go. So let's go to work, get it done, and provide the best services and results we can offer. New Brunswickers deserve nothing less. Merci beaucoup, Madame la Présidente.
I now recognize the member from St. John, West Lancaster.
Madam Speaker, it is with immense pleasure that I rise today for the first time in the legislature to recognize the riding of St. John West Lancaster and the people who, like me, call it home. Our riding is an eclectic mixture of the force of nature that is the Bay of Fundy, the majestic St. John Woolastook River and the iconic Reversing Falls, the lush forests and green spaces, lakes, beaches and parks. We have 3 elementary schools, we have 2 middle schools, numerous early learning centres and seniors complexes. Our riding is also heavy industries such as the Irving Pulp and Paper Mill and the Moosehead Brewery. Nous sommes aussi le siège de St. John Energy. Nous sommes des centres de loisirs, des arts et de la culture, des centres communautaires dirigés par les bénévoles passionnés, des groupes religieux, du multiculturalisme, des familles des nouveaux arrivants et des familles qui sont des descendants des communautés autochtones origines des Acadiens et des Loyalists. The people of the riding are similar in force to the Bay of Fundy. We're fiercely kind, empathetic, community-driven, and protective of life on our side of the bridge. West is best, they say, but we all know it's the grit and determination of the people that make this slogan ring true. It's the neighbourhoods that raised me and where I returned 25 years ago to raise my own family. I live in a 100-year-old home across from where Centracare used to be, with my husband, Michael Wilcott, and my father, Dan Ellman, who celebrated his 93rd birthday last week. I have 2 children. My daughter, Sophie, is an actor based in Halifax who had the opportunity to tour our beautiful province during the winter of 2024 as part of Theatre New Brunswick's Young Company. My son Elijah is a proud graduate of the University of New Brunswick and now studies museum curatorship in Ontario, and selfishly, I hope that they can both return home someday to work in our beautiful province. I have worked in the nonprofit sector, focused on community development, and most recently with the municipal government as the Arts and Culture Coordinator. But it was in April 2024 that I met my neighbours in a much more personal and compelling way. I've remarked to many that the ideal workout for both physical and mental health is to walk your neighbourhood every day for 3 hours, knock on every door, meet every dog, and have meaningful conversations with thousands of people on their doorsteps. Everyone, regardless of their political allegiance, wants a sense of connection and compassion, to be seen, heard, and respected. A conversation on a front porch can change people's lives, and with our new government and its platform, that's just what we're going to do. I would be amiss if I didn't mention my campaign team that walked alongside me every single day for 3 seasons. My campaign manager and official agent, Michael Wilcott and Jeff Sheehan, along with our campaign pups, were a constant source of encouragement, data checking, turf cutting, and getting me where I needed to be. This team expands to the Riding Association and then further to old and new friends who volunteered in the office, represented me and the party so well when we walked door to door, made phone calls, rallied around a wave of political and community engagement. You know who you are, and I am here for you and because of you. As a young woman growing up in St. John, I had role models such as Jane Barry, Elizabeth Weir, and my cousin Erminie Cohen, who demonstrated that with passion, hard work, and chutzpah, a woman's place is in the legislature and in the Senate. Three different parties, all progressive and empowered, and I will honour them every day as I serve here. There's many reasons why I put my name forward to serve my province, and many were moments in time when I reflected on the society we're living in and made me say, that's not my New Brunswick. The first was when my father contracted COVID, when we were told that at 91 he'd had a good life, to bring him home, keep him comfortable, so he could pass away in his own bed. There were not enough nurses, not enough doctors, not enough compassion. He'd had a good life. Of course, that didn't happen, and we advocated the heck out of the medical system to finally get the incredible team at Extramural to save him. And then we were blessed with this beautiful home care team funded through social development. And it wasn't easy, and it took tons of phone calls and emails, but Dad defied the odds and is home watching this speech today. But this made me, that's right. Reflect on the staggering number of people who had lived good lives that passed away due to the healthcare system that was broken. And that's not my New Brunswick. Our government has heard these stories at doorsteps and town hall meetings and numerous conversations with New Brunswickers, and that's why we are committed to investing in seniors, their caretakers, and long-term care so that everyone has a choice in their care and their future. We will support That's right. We will support seniors and their families by improving support worker wages, filling staffing gaps, and providing a caregiver benefit. Over 1,000 seniors are currently waiting for nursing home placements, and 500 of them are living in hospitals. This is unacceptable, and we will take measures to ensure that this disservice to our seniors and elders ends and bring them the respect they deserve. And other healthcare providers the same respect with retention payments and improved working conditions. I've worked with thousands of young people in schools and community organizations over the past 25 years, and access to youth mental health is so needed and so unavailable. Waiting lists to get in for assessments are long. There's a snag in the system where often a child is too old for pediatric care and too young for adult care. Parents are told to call back tomorrow when the receptionist is in. Or how bad of a crisis is it? Or have they tried talking to their school guidance counselor? A mental health crisis is just as pertinent as a physical health crisis, yet the system's not resourced to deal with this reality. Our government will tackle the healthcare crisis. We will establish 30 community care clinics so that New Brunswickers can access care. Through investments in community-based care and increased residency seats, the whole government will take concrete action to ensure mental health care is accessible when and where people need it. These clinics will drive recruitment because they're based on the model that healthcare professionals want. We will give more access to primary care for New Brunswickers, bring respect back to the hard-working healthcare professionals, improve mental health wait times, and ensure that seniors get the dignified care they deserve. Many of the residents of my riding have been affected by the former government's approach to education. When teachers cry and tell me that they will leave their profession they love because of gaslighting and accusations, because of dangerous classroom environments and lack of resources, because they're burned out and fear for the safety and the safety of their students, I say, that's not my New Brunswick. Our government will create an education system where every classroom, school bus and support role is filled by dedicated, respected professionals who are valuable for the critical work they do. We'll improve their working conditions and ensure that the professionals whom we trust with our children are treated with the respect and appreciation they deserve. We will not use teachers nor vulnerable children for political gain. School will be a safe space focused on learning and fostering an environment for children to explore, learn, and become their best true selves. Teachers also spoke to me about the number of children not attending school due to food insecurity or coming to school hungry. Our province has been faced with an affordability issue that plagues so many New Brunswickers. 1 in 4 kids attending school goes to school hungry. I've seen it firsthand in my work with the education system, and we all know that we can't function without the fuel to get us through the day. So why would we ever expect children to manage on an empty stomach? Our government will introduce a universal school food program, which will save families money and will mean teachers no longer have to pay out of pocket for granola bars and yogurts. And in the long run, enhance education outcomes, save children's lives. This is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to affordability and our commitment to New Brunswickers. We will make electricity more affordable, we will cut the cost of carbon adjuster, and we will save New Brunswickers about 4 cents a litre at the pumps. And we will bring in a 3% rent cap, ensuring tenants in our province don't face massive and unpredictable rent increases. We will develop programs to help New Brunswickers most at risk, those who are unhoused, struggling, and needing focus placed back on them. This will save lives. It is the story shared with me by my constituents that I carry with me today to the legislature. The senior who came to my campaign headquarters in tears because she can no longer afford to heat the home that she and her late husband worked so hard to purchase. The nurse who was going to quit her job and take a job at Costco until she heard that the member from St. John Portland Simons was running in the North End. The parents of the trans child who support their child fiercely but were so afraid of what the school environment was doing to them. These and the thousands of stories my fellow MLAs have heard fuel this government's agenda and this speech from the throne. One side of my family moved to New Brunswick from New England in the early 1700s, seeking opportunities for themselves and their children. And the other side of my family moved here from Ukraine in the early 20th century to escape religious and cultural persecution. And their paths and their stories were and are very different, but in my case, they culminated on the west side of the Woolastook or St. John River. Despite their cultural, religious, and economic differences, they were united by the need to provide a better life for themselves and their families. And in this respect, my personal story is reflected in those I heard on my neighbors' doorsteps during the campaign. Better lives for ourselves and our families. It's all we want, and it's what's been bringing people to this great province for centuries. And it's the driving principle behind this government and this inaugural speech from the throne. And that is why I'm honoured to stand before you today, Madam Speaker. I second the motion of the member of Beausoleil-Grand-Bouctouche-Kent. Thank you.
Chers membres de l'Assemblée législative, j'aimerais rappeler aux gens dans la galerie qu'il est interdit de participer au débat de quelque façon que ce soit. Je suis désolée, je comprends que vous avez des bonnes intentions, puis c'est une journée spéciale, mais je vous demanderai de vous abstraindre d'applaudir. So I would encourage people in the gallery not to clap. Thank you. Donc, and to be fair, it has been moved by the member for Beausoleil-Grand-Bouctouche-Kent, seconded by the member for St. John West Lancaster, that the following address be presented to Her Honour, the Lieutenant Governor, to offer the humble thanks of this House to Her Honour for the gracious speech which she has been pleased to make to the Legislative Assembly, namely, to Her Honour, the Honourable Brenda Murphy, Lieutenant Governor of the Province of New Brunswick. May it please Your Honour, we, His Majesty's most dutiful and loyal subjects of the Legislative Assembly of the Province of New Brunswick, now in session, beg leave to extend our humble thanks to Your Honor for the gracious speech which Your Honor has addressed to us, and we assure Your Honor that all matters which may be submitted to us during this session will receive our most careful attention and consideration. Is it the pleasure of the House to adopt the motion?
Yes. Yay. All those in favor? All those in favor.
Sorry, Madam Speaker. Which motion are we working on right now? Sorry.
To adjourn the debate.
Okay, so yes. So it's okay. It's okay. I move the adjournment of the House.
The debate.
The adjournment of the debate.
The Leader of the Opposition moves the adjournment of the debate. Is it the pleasure of the House to adopt the motion? All those in favor of the motion will please say yea. Yea. All those opposed will please say nay. In my opinion, the yeas have it. I declare the motion carried. Je reconnais maintenant la Première ministre du Nouveau-Brunswick.
Merci beaucoup, Madame la Présidente. Je propose qu'il soit appuyé par le leader parlementaire du gouvernement, que Guy Arsenault, député de la circonscription électorale de Restigouche-Est, et Benoît Bourque, député de la circonscription électorale de Beau-Soleil-Grand-Bouctouche-Kent, soient nommés à la vice-présidence de l'Assemblée.
La Première ministre, appuyée par le leader parlementaire du gouvernement, propose que Guy Arsenault, député de la circonscription électorale de Restigouche-Est, et Benoît Bourque, député de la circonscription électorale de Beau-Soleil-Grand-Bouctouche-Kent, soient nommés vice-présidents. Plaît-il à la Chambre d'adopter la motion? Oui. Les députés qui appuient la motion voudront bien dire oui. Les députés qui s'y opposent voudront bien dire non. Je déclare la motion adoptée. Je reconnais, I recognize the Premier.
Merci, Madame la Présidente. Je propose que la Chambre s'ajourne maintenant. Madam Speaker, I move this House do now adjourn.
It has been moved by the Honourable the Premier that the House is now adjourned. Is it the pleasure of the House to adopt the motion? All those in favour of the motion, please say yea. Yea. All those opposed will please say nay. I declare the motion carried. I now declare the House adjourned.